What's going on, fellas? The Wade Phillips saga. You guys saw his storyline. What a career. This man was one of the best defensive coordinators over 4 decades. He did his thing. His dad did his thing. And he got that Super Bowl ring in 2015. And I was very happy to do it with him and be one of his coaches on his staff. So in honor of him and everything that he did as a coordinator in this league and as a head coach, I went through and finally finished just attacking 3-4 defense. And I'll say what, man, it's a fun defense. I'm not going to lie. It is aggressive. It is playing offense on defense, all right? It is full of blitzes. It's full of cover ones. It's full of match coverage. And it's full of things that people are not going to want to see. I guarantee it, all right? With the right personnel, I'll walk you through it. And we can get lined up on the field and we can play this attacking style of defense that only Wade Phillips could produce. All right. So if you go on the community files, PS5 community files, you can go look. WP34 is the name of the playbook, defensive playbook. And then, or you can just search my Geronimo22 tag. It's there for you. Okay. So what do you get? Everybody for free can get that playbook and you can play with it. It's there for you. Okay. Guys of mine who support me and what I'm doing on my Patreon, with all the hard work that we are putting in together, right? Because this is a project that came from one of the guys on my Patreon who knew I worked for the Broncos, wanted to run the Wade Phillips style system. He's been running it and has had success in his league. And I really felt like, hey, you know, this is something that maybe other people can benefit from in that Patreon community. So as you see here on the screen, there's a lot of stuff here. But there's a background clip of the video maker that I used. The video that I put together is 163 minutes. So if you convert that, that's about 2 hours and 40 minutes worth of video. Okay, it's a video playbook. So I have it organized into groups. So as you open up the video playbook, I will show you what we call in the NFL a ready list. Okay, the ready list is authentic. It is real. So all it is all the plays that we want to run while we run this defense, sorted by personnel grouping and then sorted by coverages and blitzes. Okay, so as you guys watch the video, you can skip ahead, of course. I'll chapter it for you. You can see all the different categories that will be coming up. Okay, but throughout the video, for example, like on the picture here, I have an example of a pressure. Okay, a really good pressure called Mad 1, and it's there for you. I'll show you the playbook version of it, and then I'll jump on the Madden field and walk you through how to get it adjusted for you. Okay, so all those little pictures you see at the bottom, those are all the little plays that are broken down. You can see there's a ton of blitzes. I don't know exactly the count right now, but it's probably about maybe 10 to 15 blitzes. Most of them are cover 1 base, but there's a couple of zone pressures in there as well. And obviously some cover zeros. Good disguising, good aggressive 3-4 attacking defense is here. Okay, so if you want to join the Patreon at the basic level, you'll get all of this plus the updates. All right, if you don't want to do that, that's perfectly fine. You can just download the book. I'll be using it online. You'll see people may be using it online as well. And also what I'm going to do, what I'm thinking about getting done here is that Patreon has a new thing that just came out a couple weeks ago where I can upload this 2.5-hour video and you can actually go and purchase just that video. All right, just that video, one-time buy. It is yours. Okay, I'll put the link in the description if you want to just do that. So if you don't want to become part of the Patreon crew, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to, but you want to run this defense. You want this 2.5 hours of just detail of a really good defense, probably one of the best defenses in the history of the NFL. You can run it on Madden almost to a T, all right? And you can do that separately. Or if you want to hit that Patreon up and you want to join, and you want to go to whatever level you want, you can have as much access to me as much as you want, depending on what level, what tier you want to go to. It's all there for you, okay? So just want to really put this out to the world. I mean, I'm really happy that, you know, it took me about a month to get it done. You know, and I'm happy to have it done, and I'm happy to now work it with you guys, show it off to you guys, and allow you guys to have it, man. So let's go. All right, we'll move on from this point on. I'll give you a couple previews of what the video looks like, All right, and then you can kind of like, get your feet wet a little bit. If you want to get 2 feet in, let me know, and we will rock. All right, talk to you later. Okay, so let's take a look at the personnel. It's always important, man. Um, the coverage part is from 2015 is that we played a lot of cover one, but Wade always told us that if he didn't have good corners, he would play cover three more. Okay, but we're trying to make this like one of the best defenses in the history of the NFL. You need good corners. So do whatever you have to do to go get yourself a Tyreek Woolen, Weatherspoon, and some other corner that can definitely be up there around 80 overall. Okay, you need 3 corners in this system to get away with some of the stuff we're doing on the inside. Okay, so that would be my first priority. If you can't get it right away, it's okay. I think man coverage still plays pretty well. Just play a little bit more off man. Don't be pressing, so just go from there. Now, from a linebacker standpoint, you definitely want to have 2 edge guys. And I'm using Seattle because I feel like this is probably the best team that I can think of that can give you everything besides maybe the edge pressure guys. You need one guy, particularly hopefully this player right here, your left outside linebacker. You want him to be a guy that can rush like Von Miller did, but also be able to drop in coverage. Okay. And then the right outside linebacker could be more of a pure pass rusher only because he won't be dropping that much. Okay, guys. 3-4 under defense. Wade's bread and butter. Okay. As you look at your sheet, you're going to see all the plays in red. Those are plays that are man cover one pressures. So you're talking about 5-man rush, okay? So in general, he would call these plays, and the way he looked at it was his base defense, okay? Now the coverage behind it is cover one, and that's because we had a really good team that can play cover one. He's actually called it cover um, three, zone blitz cover three in his past if he didn't have the corners to play it. So if your corners aren't ready, we can try to get some of these pressures with zone pressure behind with zone looks. But right now it's set up to be more of a man style defense. Okay. So saw blitz one is one of his favorite calls, is the first play in the sheet. However, I'm going to recommend you going with cover one spy to start, and I'll explain why. Cover one spy is a good defense from a front standpoint to teach from. You can see how we are in the underfront. Again, underfront is always noted by the inside defensive tackle. Now he's in a 0 or a 1 technique. Okay. And his technique will always be shaded towards the run strength. What's the run strength? Where the tight end is. Tight end's on the right. The defensive tackle will align on the right of screen. Okay. I'm going to speak everything from an offensive point of view since that's how we're looking at it. Now, these next 2 defensive end players in the 3-4 defense, Jones and Edwards Jr., they're always going to start somewhere over the tackle. That's their base alignment in most defenses in the 3-4. But when you're in under, one of these 2 guys is going to align as a 3 technique, which is outside shade of the guard. And that's always the defensive end that's away from the tight end. Okay. So right now, Jones is away from the tight end. He's away from the run strength call. So he'll be a 3 technique. Okay. So our defensive tackle Reed is in the A gap that he's aligned in. Jones is in the B gap that he's aligned in. Okay. Edwards Jr. is aligned pretty much head up on the offensive tackle. Okay. This is where if you run a 3-4 defense compared to a 4-3 defense, a lot of times in 4-3 defense, this guy would be a little bit wider. He'd be in a 5 technique. But in the 3-4 system, this guy's pretty much head up. It could be head up like this, or it could be slightly inside. Okay. But right now, his gap says he's going out to the C gap. Is he ever going to really get there? Probably not. Okay. But this is really what a 3-4 defense is all about. I mean, under defense is all about. Okay. When I get to an over defense, I'll show you the difference. But we're going to try to stay in this type of look right here. I'm spending time on it because when we get to other defensive calls, we're going to try to get to this same look with our interior 3 when we get to other defensive calls as well, when we're in base defense. Okay, so Zoro odd scrape flip. I'm glad they say that because we're going to actually be doing that a lot when we get into the Madden game version of this. All we're looking at here is another odd type of defense with the linebacker on the line of scrimmage. So we're going to use our 2-4 package. I do have up there the 3-3 odd package. You can kind of use it that way, but that's going to be an off the ball look. It's not going to be like a real heavy pressure look with multiple guys in the line of scrimmage. But if you feel more comfortable doing this stuff from off the ball, then that's fine. Anyway, so all we're going to do is come over here opposite the running back. Okay, we can keep our blitz angle on. That's fine. And we're just looking for the first gap that opens A, B, C as we run across the line. Okay. Everybody else is in pretty good coverage. We can just let this thing play out. You don't have the back, so don't worry about green dogging. I took the first one I saw there. Okay. All right. I probably could have kept on going there. Let's try it again. All right. So we're going to flip it. I got my blitzer on this side. I want to go stand over here. Yeah, the standing over here is not like we're trying to do anything crazy. It's just about giving us a better blitz angle. We're not manipulating the line by standing on the right-hand side. It's not going to probably come free unless I go all the way around, okay? I think that's a fun little pressure to do. Let's try it. Okay, here's an updated version of Dime Mad 1 or just Mad 1 Blitz. Originally, I kind of had it out of cover one hole, but I'm just going to keep it with the linebacker Blitz 1 out of 2-4. Okay, only out of the 2-4 nickel. Okay, and do not do this out of dime 2-3. So the linebacker angle for this guy, I wish would go through B gap, but it's not going to happen. That's just the way the game is set up. Even if I was to change the defensive line assignments, he's still going to work inside. Okay, so we're just going to let this one ride out, and it's almost going to look a little bit like a cross dog. All right, he's going to work through the A gap on the opposite side. I'm going to use the backer on the opposite side of the mic, but I'm going to go green dog him, which means I'm going to go after him. If he goes out for a pass, I'm going to basically just play him man to man. If he doesn't, then I'll just come after him. So find the running back. All right, that's your man. You user him, and you go and play him coverage, or you just let him go. Now the